Changes made by Victoria's government could put the brakes on fast food drive-thrus in the state's Yarra Valley. The move follows a long-running battle over the controversial McDonald's restaurant in Tecoma, which opened for the first time last week to the dismay of locals. Well, for more, we're joined from Melbourne by Gary Murator, who's led a long-running campaign against the restaurant in Tecoma. And Gary, good morning to you. This must be very disappointing given that that restaurant has now opened in your town.
Good morning, Andrew. No, not at all. Our campaign's always been about no McDonald's in the Dandenong Ranges. Tecoma was just one battle in the Greater War. Today, with the planning changes, we've stopped McDonald's from going any further into the Ranges and the Greater Yarra Valley.
So you feel as though this is a win, despite that restaurant having opened in your town?
Yeah, it is a win, and it's been a PR disaster for McDonald's. Last week they had to give away vouchers to get a crowd there. The fact was the very next day, at 8 o'clock in the morning, they had one person there for breakfast. It's going to be a disaster for them. They know that if they go any further into the Dandenong Ranges, the community will just turn on them again.
Just explain to us, can fast food restaurants operate anywhere in the area, or is it simply the drive-thrus?
Basically, any fast food restaurant can operate providing they fit planning overlays that C126 has recommended. Now this means that it's got to fit in with the streetscape, and a lot of the Dandenong Ranges, they'll have gabled type roofs, verandas that come out over the footpaths. They're single front shops. If you look at the Tecoma restaurant, it fits in more with a North Korean type prison look. It's very, very boxy, so that wouldn't fit in. Because that we're limiting it to smaller shop fronts, it means that drive-thrus are going to be harder to put in, and that's what these big box fast food corporations want. They want drive-thrus because 80% of their turnover comes from a drive-thru, and the council's going to discourage that, and that's a win for the community.
Gary, is it simply about aesthetics, as you mentioned, the way that this looks, or is it also... Sorry, Gary, I'm afraid we're going to have to cut out of this interview because we have this ongoing crisis in Ukraine. I'm sorry about that. Thanks very much for joining us. We're going to go to the UN Security Council